Welcome back into the workshop for another Dave's Diary update. Yes, opportune time, I think, to have a little bit more of a consideration of what I've got right in front of me, which is my track saw setup on my MFT style of top and the workbench in its position that generally is its position when I go to make the cuts with the MFT track saw workbench combo. It is, as I said, roughly where I'd be cutting, within a couple of 100mm of wherever it can be moved, because it really can't go that way much more because I've got to get my butt around that side and work, and this side here is the alleyway where I work back, for all sorts of things. Can't have it too far this way because quite often the door is down, especially with winter coming. And well, that way, because it can't go that way because I've got all stuff down there in the way. But generally it is placed in this area. Now, so far I've been more than happy with just being able to pop up a little, small home vac onto the saw. It's a bagless one, so that's a bit of a bonus. But most of these small ones are, by their form factor, small in the capacity for collecting dust, and that thing does actually produce quite a bit of dust. Some long cuts with that, and that starts to fill up at least to the point where it's going to start clogging the internal filter in there. So it would be nice to have a bigger capacity one of these, but then they are a bigger form factor and gets in the way. The pipe work is always an issue, and you hear about that all the time, and especially where these ones with the like the spiral or the corrugations in them, that they can catch on things, and they have caught me a few times, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. So, and I'm backing up into this position for a reason. If I look up, directly over where this is sitting is my truss, and what I did here for the garage. Now what I did here is I stopped the truss at that point because I needed to have it there so it can support the door, but I actually took out a truss in between these two when I built the garage. I designed it that way, and that is why I've got these large purlins that span between, and why these trusses are, I'm going to say, fairly nuggety. They're quite a strong truss, all made out of 6x2s or X 6x2s, which is 140 by 45mm, double one, bottom cord, single top cord, etc. You can see it's chunky. So yeah, anyway, you didn't need to know that, but now you do. Very, very strong. They also can take in this case, the air line, and I used to have the vacuum, the shop vac hooked up to it via a pipe. Now, I've taken that out because it didn't work as well as I'd want it to. But now that I've got a track saw, it actually suggests that maybe, just maybe, I want to rethink about having a tube, maybe similar to this, hooked up to there, maybe on an arm that can articulate out a little bit. Probably not necessary, but hey, if we have to, we can. But at least bring a hard line, i.e. PVC pipe, along the bottom cord there, and then down, which I've allowed for already, and down to this point here, and then it can just come along, track along, and then hook up to my system, my duct system, as it is required. Now, that can't be too hard, I would suggest. So it's something that I'm going to have a serious think about in the coming few days, because I will be making a lot of cuts. In fact, out there is I think a 50mm pipe and a 65mm pipe. So I've got the capability, or the pipe work at least, to run something along there. So yeah, it's kind of like watch this space. But it seems to make sense because this is now a definite kind of area for this track saw to be used. It will be brought from that point right down to here to move backwards and forwards, and that is why I was making comment or reference to a swing out arm, so that it can come out a distance. But to be fair, I think it would be better having a hose that can still connect up to a single point up here somewhere, and then be pulled out to hook up at this point, and then of course I run along there. So that swing out arm, while yes it would work in the middle of a big workshop if you're working in one area, because I'm transversing or transiting from whatever, moving from this area down here, it's got to have a run of about 2.5 to 3 meters, and of course I've got that thing called a garage door and a truss in the way, so it can only swing to the point of that area, and then the pipe has to swing down there anyway, which is exactly like down here, which is because the track at the moment is directly under the truss. Follow all that? Hope so, because I'm not repeating it. I'll probably give you a different description. So I suppose what I should do is just grab a bit of pipe, flexi tubing, hook it up there. Doesn't have to be hooked up to the system or anything, and just move backwards and forwards and see how practical it is, or does it actually foul up when I'm moving around. The ideal option would be if I had more of the 65mm, which I've got, 65mm tubing, but that's quite a big pipe for something that doesn't really have a big requirement at that point. So I think I'll probably stick with the accumulated vacuum hoses that I've got. Should work. If it doesn't, I'll soon find out. Hang on, I'm going to cough. Dearie me. So yeah, that's the thinking there. I'm just ready to start cutting some of this down to size, and yeah, I'm just looking at it going, yeah, it would be good not to have to even have that on the table at all, that kind of trailing around and, being a nuisance, and that across the walk area. That would be good not to be there. So yeah, and that was what I was talking about with the logic of it. That was the other thing. I knew I had two things I wanted to cover off. I made a video a wee while ago mentioning how, let me just show you, how I was so looking forward to getting my nice black anodized rails to hook up to these nice bench dogs. I think they are Enjoy Wood, Hooked on Wood. Yes, they are a Hooked on Wood developed system or bench dog. And how I was so looking forward to using that with my track saw, because I felt that they were a required accessory to make maximum use of the track saw. And I still do. I think that they're going to have their uses, don't get me wrong by what I say next. But, yeah, there was a but. Let's just take that off. The use of these bench dogs, so I've got 3, that one's, under the rail itself. Man, they are handy. They're out of the way. They drop down so they don't foul. I just pull my material up against it this way, not pushing it that way. I could do either, but I can pull the material up against the bench dogs. Yep, it's pulled up. I could even have some down here if I was... Oh, it should actually probably have a little bit of... Anyway, I'll have a look at that. Oh, I can just see a tiny, probably 1 or 2 mil lip there, and it shouldn't be. But by having those bench dogs in where they... Oh, I know why. It's a bit of wood, bit of custom wood sticking out there. Anyway, with having those bench dogs in there, down out of the way, I can pull my material up and then run across with the skill saw, with the drop saw, with the Drop saw, no. Plunge saw. Gee, what? Track saw. Come on, 4th time lucky. That to me says a lot about the trap of following an idea that is valid, but it's not always going to be terribly applicable. And that is, I could use the rails over there, but these bench dogs, which are, I'm going to say free because I've already got them, turns out to replace them in this scenario. No, it is very difficult to stick a stop on it if I wanted to put bench dogs in here, and then where's my stop go? Well, I have a stop down here, and it's adjustable when I need a stop. Oh. That's it there. That's that parallel arm gizmo. That is going to be its official name, I've decided. It's a parallel gauge guide fence gizmo. Okay, I'm just making it up. Yeah, and I can use it in this position. I can, when it comes time to cut the panels to their correct sizes. So, yippee. Cheap, i.e. free. Parallel arm gizmo. Cheap, i.e. as almost free. And very, very effective. Just saying. And that's where I was going with that one before, when I said you can get into that trap of buying an item because it does make sense. Like I did these ones here. Again, it's a Dennis from Hooked on Wood, and what is it? It's an Enjoy Wood as well, wouldn't it? Hong Dui. Yeah. That is good. Love it. Use it all the time. So, yeah, I'm a bit of a fanboy of some of those things, and I look at a bit cringy, actually, when I watch people criticising some of the Chinese equipment. Now, I understand why. Don't get me on that subject. But I've been pretty flaming lucky that the items that I've got have been generally already reviewed or assessed or critiqued by some of the other YouTubers, and you go and follow what they, their recommendations or not, and you buy them. And I did with those, and they are brilliant. In fact, I've got the first version of this, and I'm still happy to have that other set in the wings, ready to be used elsewhere. Am I using them at the moment? No. But will I in the future? Probably. And I've got them there. So sometimes you spend money wisely, some less wisely. Anyway, love those. Works with the tracksaw really well. Bench dogs instead of a fence. Yippee. The parallel arm gizmo instead of some of these other accessories that you may wish to buy. You can build them in-house. Relatively straightforward. And I don't think you'd look back once you've got the combination of things. Anyway, there we go. That was going to be a 2 or 3 minute video. It ain't 2 or 3 minutes. Just saying, unless you lost track of time. Rightio, that's it. Better cut some stuff up, make some noise, make some dust, and then, see how we get on. Rightio, see you in the next one now. Bye.